Yawning, it's something we all do, but what if I told you that when a bat yawns, it's not just a simple reflex, but a complex behavior tied to biology, social dynamics, and environmental needs? Join me as we delve deep into the fascinating science behind bat yawning and uncover why these creatures of the night open their mouths so widely. When we think of yawning, we often associate it with tiredness or boredom. But when it comes to bats, yawning has far more nuanced roles than just signaling sleepiness. So let's break down why bats yawn, and why their yawns matter in ways that you might not expect. Yawning is a behavior shared by many vertebrates, including humans. For us, it's commonly linked to tiredness, boredom, or a way to increase oxygen intake. However, more recent research has shown that yawning could be a mechanism for brain temperature regulation. Essentially, when we yawn, we're cooling down our brain. Just like how a car engine needs to cool down after heavy use, our brain benefits from this brief reset. In fact, yawning seems to be tied to more than just tiredness. It has been suggested that it helps with regulating brain temperature, especially in situations where the brain has become overactive or overheated. This cooling mechanism ensures that we remain alert, especially in high-stakes situations, such as driving or working long hours. The same concept can be extended to bats. Bats are extremely active creatures relying on their brains for critical functions like navigation, hunting, and socializing. In particular, the demands of flight and foraging could cause their brains to heat up quickly, and yawning might serve as a way to cool down this important organ and prevent cognitive impairment. Now, let's dig deeper into another crucial reason why bats yawn: social bonding. Bats are highly social creatures, especially species that live in large colonies. In these colonies, yawning plays a significant role in communication. Many animals, including humans, exhibit contagious yawning, a phenomenon where seeing or hearing someone yawn causes others to yawn as well. But why is this the case, especially for bats? In bats, contagious yawning likely serves as a form of social synchronization. Bats are incredibly sensitive to the behaviors of those around them, as their survival often depends on being in sync with their colony. By yawning together, bats may be signaling each other that they are ready for action or reinforcing group cohesion. This synchronization helps keep the colony united, ensuring that individuals act in concert during critical activities like hunting, foraging, or taking flight. The contagious nature of yawning is particularly important in species that roost in large groups. In these densely packed colonies, where hundreds or even thousands of bats may hang side by side, synchronized behavior is essential for maintaining social order and cooperation. If one bat yawns, it might trigger yawning in others, signaling a shift in the group's collective state, perhaps indicating that it's time to wake up or get ready to leave the roost. The phenomenon of contagious yawning also suggests that yawning in bats is not just a passive reflex, but is connected to social and emotional factors. Research on primates has shown that contagious yawning is more common among individuals who share a strong social bond. Similarly, in bats, yawning could reinforce social bonds within a colony, strengthening ties between roostmates and promoting cooperative behaviors that are essential for survival. While social synchronization is one potential reason for bat yawning, another possibility involves brain temperature regulation. Bats are active creatures, especially during their nocturnal foraging hours. Flying around at night requires a substantial amount of energy. Just like humans, when animals are engaged in physical activity, their brains generate heat. This heat can cause cognitive fatigue, leading to slower reaction times and less effective decision-making. In this context, yawning could serve as a form of brain cooling in bats. By yawning, they might allow cooler air to enter the mouth and circulate around the brain, helping to reduce the temperature of the organ. This process could be critical during periods of high energy expenditure, such as when a bat is hunting prey or navigating through dark environments. Maintaining cognitive sharpness is essential for avoiding obstacles, finding food, and avoiding predators, so keeping the brain cool and functioning properly is a matter of survival. The idea that yawning helps regulate brain temperature is supported by research in other animals. For instance, in humans, studies have shown that yawning helps cool the brain, and that brain temperature rises before a yawn occurs, suggesting a causal link. In bats, this process may be even more important, given their reliance on sharp cognitive skills to function in the dark, complex world of their habitats. Different species of bats may exhibit varying yawning behaviors based on their unique lifestyles and physical needs. Insectivorous bats, which hunt flying insects, likely experience more frequent yawning during periods of active flight. Their need to maintain sharp cognitive function while hunting at night is paramount, and yawning could be a natural response to brain overheating during intense activity. On the other hand, fruit bats, which tend to be less energetically demanding in terms of flight, might yawn for a different reason, stretching out their jaw muscles after long periods of hanging upside down. These bats often roost in trees and spend extended hours in a stationary position, which could lead to muscle stiffness, making yawning a way to relieve that tension. These differences in yawning frequency and purpose suggest that the behavior is not universal across all bat species. Rather, it is tailored to each species' specific ecological niche and physical requirements. For example, the larger megabats, or fruit bats, may engage in more yawning as a result of postural stress, while the smaller insectivorous bats might yawn more as a response to the cognitive demands of their high-energy foraging. While we've uncovered a lot about the possible reasons behind bat yawning, there's still much more to explore. One major question remains: what exactly triggers yawning in bats under certain conditions? Is yawning more common during periods of stress or environmental change? For instance, could a shift in food availability or changes in the colony's environment prompt an increase in yawning? In addition, we don't fully understand how yawning interacts with other behavioral patterns in bats. Does yawning precede major behavioral shifts, such as the transition from roosting to foraging? Does it happen more frequently during times of stress, such as when the colony faces external threats or overcrowding? These are questions that scientists are actively trying to answer, and future research could shed light on the deeper, more subtle reasons for bat yawning. Given how little is currently understood about this behavior, there's ample room for future studies. Researchers might look at the effects of environmental changes, such as temperature fluctuations, light exposure, or changes in food supply, on yawning frequency in bats. This could offer deeper insights into the adaptive purposes of yawning in different species and environments. So next time you see a bat yawn, remember, it's not just a reflex. It's a multifaceted behavior that serves to cool their brains, synchronize social bonds, and maintain cognitive sharpness, all crucial for their survival in the wild. From brain cooling to social synchronization, yawning in bats is a fascinating example of how even the most simple-seeming behaviors can have complex and essential rules in animal life. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the science behind bat yawning. If you found this as fascinating as I did, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below to let me know your thoughts. What other animal behaviors would you like us to break down next? Until then, keep exploring the wonders of the natural world with us.